Monday morning, I am in the office. I have made the decision that the best place for me to start Monday morning is in this place. I spend a lot of time here anyway, but what I was doing is I was going to clinic on Mondays and I'm then talking to everyone about what they're up to, what I need doing, forgetting the fact that they've got all of their things that they need to do. So I've kind of scrapped that idea and I figured, you know what, Monday morning I'm going to sit down, spend time writing out kind of what it is that needs to be achieved this week for myself before then going to the rest of the team and finding out what it is that they're achieving. So, got my big list here. You ready to hear it? I'm not going to share it just like that. I'm lying. I am going to give you an update though quickly on what the plan is kind of moving forwards. Now, I've mentioned before we're trying to get GPs on. We've got to get our CQC registration, so that is Quality Care Commission. And to do that, there are a lot of hoops to jump through. But the benefit of jumping through these hoops is it actually professionalizes everything you're doing. But it's going to take a bit of time. So we're trying to put lots of things in place at the moment to be able to hit that application and make sure that we're successful with the outcome. We have got interviews coming up left, right, and center with various different professions. We've got podiatry, we've got osteopathy, we've got massage, we've got physio, we've got the GP stuff. However, we're not really interviewing that, to be fair. But all of that stuff is trying to happen. Now, whether that all happens this week, I don't think it is. I think we've got a few this week and a couple lined up for the week beginning the 20th. But again, hopefully exciting things to come. Got some very interesting feedback from a candidate today where they replied with a very negative email, which I will be showing you right here now, with their thoughts on our interview process and their disgruntledness of why they were not selected for further interview. And the reply that they gave kind of justifies my reasoning as to why they were not brought forward. But we have around about, I'm looking at our recruitment website thing at the moment. We've got 168 applicants for a physio position. And my job is to screen through them based upon who has the current experience and knowledge and reputation in order to add to us. So we don't just bring on 168 physios. I could do, but my worry with that is like what are the levels that they have? What are the standards that they have? Do they match what we want? So they got to be the right fit for us, because it's not having physios work with us, having podiatrists, having anyone work with us. It's not a numbers game for me. It's the value of the team we currently have needs to be maintained. So I have to think about how do all these people integrate with the existing team? How do they add to the team? And how do they also add to our growth? So it's not easy in that sense. It's easy in the terms of numbers that I get, but it's not easy in finding the right people who are going to be the right fit for what we're doing. So yeah, that's a bit about recruitment. What else have we got? I've got another person who's going to hopefully be joining us for the social media stuff. I met with on Saturday. I was going to film it, forgot my SD card, and that is why they are coming in to work with us. So we've got that to do. I've got that to send out. Got some information or some updates in a meeting later on, which is about our imaging services and how we refer onwards, the level of service we're able to provide to our patients. So again, we want to be that place that people come to and the whole journey is perfected. A little bit like it would be in a sports team, like a professional sports team. What happens with that player when they come in and what do they then have to do afterwards? Usually not very much. And we want that for our patients as well. Got a slight problem with our website, so I'm trying to sort that out as we speak. Going back and forward with the web team to make sure that they get that all uploaded and sorted. And yeah, I've got to organise a couple of meetings as well this week with some networking hosts who are going to help us with our recruitment. And it took me a little while to say that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create a better funnel of recruits coming in from different areas. We use the various advertising platforms for it, but there's also other opportunities out there where almost like the same way that the property game works, where you can go direct to the person who is selling the property. We can go direct to the agencies as such, so then get them to work exclusively with us, or at least open up opportunities that we provide within their facility. So trying to do that, and then I've got a meeting later on with the girl who does all our accounts to make sure we're all up to date with that. We've got a meeting on Wednesday. We'll be sharing that information, working out how last month went, looking at this month so far, how we're going to progress forwards, and we're a third of the way through our second quarter. and just making sure that we are on target to meet what them areas are. I also need to do some analysis as well on our patient numbers. Like, yes, we're really, really busy, but we are investing a lot into advertising and things like that. So it's going to start being a bit more fine-tuned with how we spend, and also how we kind of measure the success of whether or not that's been a worthwhile spend. I have a feeling at the moment it's not that worthwhile. And again, what I'm trying to do here now is pull money from one area to reinvest it into another area, and then that will hopefully add to the increased growth that we are all seeking. As things stand, we are on track. I'm looking up there because that is where our magic number is of what we're trying to do this year. And we are on track as things stand to do that. But in the months ahead, there are some challenging times which are coming, because based on last year's data, there is this consistent growth. So I'm just comparing last year's data to this year's data. But if I carry on as we are at the moment, and we don't make the same level of growth that we have been, then there might become an issue. But as things stand, if I took the graph goes beautifully up in a line like that. And yeah, that's what we're kind of looking for, to make sure that we're sustainable and keep growing. So I'm going to show you some more things that happen throughout the week. Stay tuned. Right, in clinic, I'm going to give you a quick whistle stop tour of what's happening. I've got a meeting now with Monica coming up, where we're going to discuss what is happening in the Barnet clinic. We've got Natasha out there who is doing our accounts. We've got Jess speaking to Monica at the moment, so I'm going to take you in on that. Let me give you a quick tour around and see what's happening. So, here is treatment happening here. And here is Jess. Hello.
And then Bodylogics is just very gentle, soft tissue work on that upper.
Don't be nervous.
Traps area, a bit on like the lumbar spine when I next see her, but I want to do a big like gym program.
Some correction type, even if we're starting with some chin tucks, like just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing too strenuous, and then
nothing crazy.
Include a band going against
Literally
that.
a pelvic toast to start with today, and that was basically it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was
There's only so much of it. So when it's a pelvic floor issue, there's only so much you can do externally.
Do you think it's
pelvic
a
floor
issue?
physios quite literally go internal?
Yeah,
and they obviously do that. So it's a very specialist thing.
Like a gynecology.
Exactly. Continue working with her on that, but if you're not seeing much improvement from that side, then obviously it's already good that you've referred her or told her to.
Could that be her lower back pain as well, that from the pelvic?
Potentially, but then we don't know whether the lower back pain is from her giving birth or her being in that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Has the pain changed at all since she gave birth to?
She said it's just kind of got like been getting worse. Worse. Hence what she's gone through Dr. Raymond and everyone.
A lot of the time with patients like this, you have to do the treatment and see how they're progressing. I think the main thing with this particular patient, because she's had bad physios or bad experiences before, you need to try and gain her trust.
I know.
So highlighting all the highs, if you when you start seeing all the progressions, etc. That's quite important. It sounds like you're doing the right thing.
But on like a red flag point of view and fine in terms of what we did.
Yeah, and also the fact that she would have seen so many different professionals beforehand. She's had the MRIs, that's all clear. I think that's absolutely fine.
Alright.
Powerful. It sounds like some MDT work happening here, cross collaboration, mini CPDs.
Always.
Lots of buzzwords dropped in there.
I missed this.
We'll end it there. Thanks a lot for that. Someone said to me that I need to do different angles of my video updates and different locations. So I'm sitting in the kitchen now. I've just come back from clinic. I had a meeting with our clinic manager to start with. We're just talking about some of the data that we're seeing in clinic at the moment and trying to understand what is relevant and what is not relevant, so they can then share that with their team member. And it's really important that we do it that way, because one of the things we were looking at is the level of appointments we had last week compared to the previous week and how we're really down the last week. But the simplicity of it is that we had the bank holiday and also we had some annual leave. Actually, when you actually average out their numbers based on what we tend to do on certain days, we are performing exactly as we should be expected to do. So there's no dramas with that. I was trying to explain that the times to be concerned with when there's no reasoning for it, and this is the importance of why we track the numbers and why I get really intense and weird about it, because if you can't manage what you can't measure, and measuring them numbers on a weekly basis and preferably a daily basis is really, really important and something that we can always improve on. So I had that meeting. I then just had a quick update on a podiatry interview we did, which went really, really well. And so we're going to discuss that in a little bit more detail later on tonight and tomorrow as to what we do moving forwards with that. Then had a meeting with Gemma, who does our clinic operations, and we were just talking about the setup of how the patient journey looks like. So when person calls us to when they end with us, so trying to resolve that. I also had a meeting earlier on at about 11:30 with our imaging team who we work with. So we've got 3 different tiers of imaging, like a silver tier, a gold tier and a platinum tier, and they kind of represent different type of services that people can expect from the various images that we offer. We're widening what that scope is to time with the GPs, as I've already said before. But yeah, that meeting, we were just trying to get through the teething issues. We've only just set it up, but how we want it to look and what that means for the patients and the level of service that patients are able to get from it. It's really, really important. And we're just coming up against a couple of barriers at the moment, which is making it not run so smooth. It sounds really simple, but there are a few other steps and processes. Again, I always keep coming back to processes, but we need to sort them processes out so that we can get it just right for the patient and they get the service that they pay for and what they expect. So yeah, trying to resolve that. So we've got 2 patients at the moment who are going through that for the first time. Fortunately, they're loyal, long-standing patients, so we're lucky to get away with the fact that it may not be going quite so smoothly. But nonetheless, the answer always is how do we then respond to the situations occurring and making sure that it doesn't happen. So there's a few parties which are involved in making sure this runs smoothly, and we need to get to them people who are the decision makers in them places to make sure that we don't have this happen again, because this element of grace will only last a few days, and I wouldn't even go weeks, but a few days before people don't like it. I also got update on some of the property stuff that I'm doing, so that is going well. I'm going to share the updates on that very, very soon with the pictures. Some issues with regards to some of the legalities with it, but that is being resolved, and I've just had an email through now, so let me see if it is the one that I am waiting for. And it is not. It's an update on my imaging situation, which is important, but not the answer that I'm looking for. I've got till about 5 o'clock to get my answer for this, which should be today. But I'm in the powers of everybody else on that. And that's one of the hardest things I struggle with, letting other people be in control of what my outcomes are. When if it was in my hands, I know I'd be like a dog with a bone of trying to get the answer that I want as quick as I can. But when I'm waiting on other people, it doesn't help me with my relaxing methods. Anyway, that's the main update for today. I've got a meeting at 5 o'clock, which I'm going to jump on, where we talk about some property adventures that I've got happening, get some feedback from them lot to give me some advice and guidance. I'll try and film some of that if I can. But yeah, we'll be back in. I'm on home visits tomorrow, so I will try and film some of that and show you where I'm going. I need to do a bit of prep work for that tonight, actually, before I go.
Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, I will show you what is happening within clinic tomorrow as well.
Tuesday afternoon, I have only just started doing filming. I was on home visits today and just got back recently from them. Just been doing some admin work. I've been finalising some legal things. I think I said yesterday that I had a lot of legal things that I was finalising on a property venture that I'm looking at the moment. So that's kind of just gone through. And I've just been speaking to our accounts manager. Tomorrow we've got our team meeting and we will then be going through our profit and loss accounts. Just been sorting out and finalising the bonus for last year for those who are part of the bonus scheme with us. We try and put these bonuses in place to try and keep everyone motivated, but it does come with its challenges. And one of the biggest challenges, and I talk about this openly with the team, especially the management team, is we will sometimes, we set the targets. Sometimes people don't quite meet the targets, so they can fall a little bit short, but we have to have this kind of cut-off line. And the problem with that comes that they get disgruntled when they are just shy of it and can almost actually create a kickback. So where we're trying to reward people, we actually find that we can sometimes alienate people is the wrong word to use, but they can become a little bit annoyed about the fact that, well, they haven't met it, and they can feel demotivated, demoralized. So it's a fine balance, because the argument is, well, why don't we just pay people more money? Now, the problem with paying more money is you take away the whole carrot and stick analogy. And for me, it works better when we are motivating people for this is the reward if we do what we expect and what we need. But I guess for some people, maybe it works better if they don't have it. So trying to weigh up the balance in my head constantly of how we reward people appropriately, but also incentivize people to want to do well and do more and things like that, and help us get to where we're going. So they're the battles that we're doing. But yeah, we're trying to finalize the accounts so everything's accurate, and then we're going to share it with the rest of the team. We share it with the management first, then we're going to start sharing it more regularly with the team members, so they're very, very clear of where we're at and what our plans are to improve the position of our business. Because if we can improve the position, it enables us to then pay more towards the staff. And the saying goes, be frugal on costs so you can be generous on investment. That's what we're going to try and do. Right, on my way to clinic. It is Wednesday morning. We have our team meeting every Wednesday, and in that meeting we discuss how we're doing as a clinic. We do a lot of analysis, but one of the things that's coming to attention at the moment is our analysis kind of surface deep. We can go much deeper, and then the counter to that is, again, how deep do we go with that? And we end up creating data sheets for the sake of data sheets. So I'm in the process of actually looking at our existing system to see how we can simplify things from a reporting schedule. So that means almost a complete overhaul of what we currently use. And that will enable us to have better reporting schedules, better metrics, but more custom made. We're quite restricted by the system we use at the moment. So we want to kind of look at doing that, how we can incorporate more AI stuff, and just fast track the route so that people are not spending so much time doing tasks which are very manual and labor intensive. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. I'm going to be also creating questions for everyone which are challenging is the wrong word to use, but certainly questions where I wanted to think deeper than just the reporting of what is happening. I always say it's a really, really easy thing to do, to say what is it that's going on, but being able to action points where we can change, implement, and say, if we do this, this will be the outcome of things that we can measure. That's where the real challenge lies, and the key skill set that I want from staff members. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit like that. I'm going to film some of it. I chop it up so that we can share what we're doing with you. But the meetings are like 2 hours long. We then got a CPD afterwards. I've got a meeting then with a university about some career opportunities that we're looking to present to their students. Meeting with a GP, then some screening interviews for recruitment. So we do loads and loads of recruitment, get loads of messages for you, which is fantastic, but we want to find the right fit for us, not just bodies to come in and not deliver on the service that we're after. So I've got a few calls throughout the day today, which will be quite exciting, and hopefully will lead to more recruitment. And you often hear me say we're recruiting, and I mean it. We are recruiting all the time, and I am doing screening interviews, I'm doing interviews and finding the right people to come and join us. So we don't say yes to everyone, and on purpose, because not everybody meets the standards of what we had. I've said in the past, we did 5 interviews and none of them came forward. And that's not to put fear into people about not interviewing with us. It's more about that we have a level that we want to see within clinicians who work with us. Our patients have an expectation of us, and we need to be able to deliver upon that to make sure that we stay as the leading place. And that's the ultimate goal: be the leading place, be the best. And to be the best, you need the best staff. And when we get the best staff, we then try to look after the best staff as best we can. I've also started a property adventure. So if you follow me on any of the social channels, you'll see that I've started doing it. Don't worry, I haven't got a big following. I'm not kind of some big time person, but if you do manage to see any of it, you'll see that we're kind of renovating a property at the moment. So I am doing a lot of this to understand the learnings that come with bridging finance, loans, people investing into projects, understanding how to keep them stakeholders updated. So I'm trying to do it on a small time project, because as I've shared before, and I share with staff all the time, is I really, really want to be in a position where we're able to buy our own commercial property, about 4,000 to 6,000 square foot, load it up with treatment rooms, with gym facilities, and have loads and loads of things happening within that workspace. And this has been a really good learning curve for how the solicitors work, how the lending process works, all the checks I need to do, all the signatures I need to get. I thought it was going to be pretty straightforward. I thought, yep, apply for the money, they lend me the money, I pay the money, and I gain the keys. And I have learned in no uncertain terms that it does not work that way. The level of checks that get done now is crazy, and I understand it, but still, it was a real eye opener for me about what I needed to sign, who I needed to meet, what I need to get approved. I've still got loads of other professionals that I need to speak to about the project in order to make sure that that thing goes smoothly. But people like surveyors, I've got monitoring surveyors, I've got council, there's so many people to be speaking to about this, but it's really, really good because this is a small project. It's a fairly big project, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really, really small. And if I can take the learnings from this and apply it into the next stages, then hopefully what I've learned from here will help the next bit be better, quicker, and hopefully even more successful than this one's going to be. But I'm going to keep you updated with that bit as well. Right, Wednesday morning, back at clinic now. Just got out of our clinic managers meeting, our weekly one. The time's now 12:30. It went on slightly longer than I had anticipated, but it was really, really good because we started talking a lot about the way we're going to be reporting on things and making sure that everyone understands why them reports are coming in, and then what we're going to do with the data afterwards. We're good at, I think, surface level reporting, but this meeting was a good opportunity for us to go into depth and talk about the reasoning why we need to do it, how we can action it, how we reward people for meeting them particular targets. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send over the minutes of everything. We have it all recorded anyway, but I'll just go through and edit it quickly to make sure that the whole team have got the accuracy and what we should all be doing. What I also am getting better at, which sounds weird, is better at not going into clinic and doing work there, which sounds silly, but I find that when I go in there now, I'm going in, I just kind of talk to them about what they're doing, offer any input as to what I think might be helpful, but try and let them crack on as much as possible with what the work is that they need to do, rather than me coming and saying, right, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. I'm going to sit here now, get all my stuff done, then I'll go into clinic later to see how people are getting on with their particular tasks and responsibilities as we move forward to having this better system. I'm also looking into a brand new booking platform for us as well. I'm really, really excited about it because it seems like it gives us lots of different things that we can do, and will grow on our existing platform that we use, which has huge limitations, and for obvious reason, they're trying to cater for everyone, but as we do this more and more, we're becoming really, really fine-tuned with what it is that we need, what we want, and what will make our lives easier, as well as the patients' lives easier as well. So I'm going to have a little look through that as well in a bit, and then go and see how everyone else is getting on. I've got a few meetings coming up as well. I've got a meeting with a university to talk about our recruitment strategies with them, which I'm hopefully is going to be very, very worthwhile. I've also got a meeting with our GP and then some screening interviews for interviews. I said before, we've got other interviews happening throughout this week into next week. Loads of applications coming at the moment, which is amazing. And we're just screening to see who is going to be a good fit for us and who may not necessarily fit that role particularly well. I will keep you updated. Just jumping on this video here to give you a quick update. The time is 8 p.m. and I am currently trialing a brand new piece of software which is going to integrate our booking system and trying to bring in the power of AI. So I'm sitting here at the moment just waiting to go into a meeting room to try and run some tests and just check as to whether or not it will be a thing which we can move forward with to help enable our systems much more. Point being is that these are the things that happen when you own your own business. There's no kind of working hours that finish at 5 o'clock. I wish there was. But yeah, this here, I'll probably be on this phone call now for about 45 minutes, just trying to get some answers to things which I can't find out myself. But they've been super helpful at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to jump into a room, get my updates and then feedback with how that went as well. The meeting just finished. I am genuinely blown away with the product that they are saying that they are going to be able to offer us. And I've gone through everything. One of the things that I was talking to them about is how does the integration with them impact our existing standing and what we do with our SEO and stuff like that. And they have assured me that there is no impact on it and it will only make it better.
part of me has this fear inside of like, they just telling me what they think I want to hear. But I'm going to have a go at it. I'm going to spend tomorrow going through it. I had plans to do a site visit yesterday about a potential building that we might be looking at going into, but that got cancelled by the agent earlier on today. So I'm not going to be doing that. And instead, I'm going to spend my time geeking out on this new platform, which I hope within the next month or two we'll be able to integrate into what we're doing. But with that is going to come a lot of retraining for everyone. So I've got to bear that in mind with how we present it to everyone and the level of training I expect them to do at the moment on the current system, if I'm confident and believe that we're going to be moving onto this one soon. So yeah, let's watch this space, and hopefully when you come and click on our website soon, you're going to see a brand new experience on how you book with us. Okay, Thursday morning, just got back from the gym. Time is 10:20 a.m. I've got a meeting at 10:30. But the reason why I'm jumping on this now is I did some work this morning at 5 a.m. But usually my routine is I get up in the morning and then I go to the gym, come back, and then I'll start doing my work then. But I'm trying to change lifestyle a little bit, and the challenge here is I get this mad anxiety that come 9 o'clock when everyone's in work, that those are the times that I'm going to be needed. So I'm trying to really work on ways that I can implement this into my life. At the moment, I can't see how this is going to be a thing. I tried it today thinking, we'll give something different. So do the work in the morning, then go to gym after dropping the kids off to school. But yeah, I'm not too sure that that's going to be a factor that I can sustain. Anyway, in today's news, I've got my meeting with SEO guy coming up in 10 minutes. I then got a call with the team who are going to be redesigning our booking platform. I'm really, really excited about this because I think this is going to be a huge game changer with how we operate, what our workflows look like, all our automations, how we integrate AI. So yeah, I reckon that's going to take, I personally think it's going to take 2 to 3 months. I'm talking to the team yesterday. They seem to think it's going to take a month. I can't see that. But we've committed to it for now. We're going to start building it out. It's going to be unique to us, which is the best thing about it. And hopefully it's going to be another thing which just helps set us out from everyone else around, and helps all of the staff members who work as well, the admin and the therapists as well, to try and make their life easier, much more succinct, streamlined, smoother, all of that. We've got loads of bits at the moment which happen with a little bit there, and we try and piece it all together. But this way we can really try and get everything under one platform and then working really, really nicely. It is Thursday evening, 7:45 p.m. I am just about to jump on to our weekly update that we do, where I share as much information I can about the business and how we're getting on. The past 2-3 weeks, they haven't actually been particularly good. Yes, the whole of April, to be honest with you, from the 30th of March, hasn't been a great start. There are reasons for that. We had the Easter holidays, people were on annual leave and things like that, which does naturally impact it. But before that, we were riding high above what our targets were, and everyone was excited and it was going really well, and all the feedback was really positive. In this instance, it's probably not going to be quite so positive. So we've got quite a big shortfall that we need to make up if we want to hit the targets that we're after. We are trying to cut costs in some places, but we are then going to be increasing our costs in other places as well. So we have to bear that in mind with how we're trying to balance the books, as they say. But yeah, I'm going to give the update to everyone. As I say, we do this every week. It gives them a real big insight, and I'm going to be talking to them about the reasons why these numbers are really important for them. When I'm doing my recruitment, I'm telling everyone about this. I'm putting it out there. The new locations will be between 4,000 to 6,000 square foot each. That is the goal. You can do the maths yourself on what that looks like for the net profit. So the growth is happening, but the last 2 weeks and this week, we have pretty much lost all of that excellent progress. And I'm going to look at the reasons for that with you and share it with you from a really, really open perspective here. Being positive all the time is helpful, but not everything is always positive, unfortunately. To be at 42% is, I'm slightly lost for words. We haven't had a week like this before. So I really want us all to do some reflection here, please. Every single one of us, there's not singular people here. Pressures that I feel, you don't need to feel the same pressures as I do. I'm not asking you to feel them pressures. I'm asking you to understand them pressures. Okay, that was the update there. You would have seen little snippets of it, of what I was doing. The past 2-3 weeks, they haven't been great. So the message that was being delivered today is slightly negative, but it's negative with reality, and people need to understand and see that reality so that will they understand where I'm coming from? I don't know. It's very difficult when I'm doing it through the Teams call rather than face to face. But I hope with the way that they're treated, that they will look at that and think, okay, I get it, I understand. We do get looked after, and yeah, that we will do our reflections and work out what we can do differently in the coming weeks.
Coming in to see my fourth most favourite person. Here she is.
Did you get my message?
I did. You double paid me, right?
Yeah.
I'm always happy when that happens. It's when you double pay other people. That's when I'm not too happy. But if it's me you're double paying, then I'm all for it.
Do you want to have a quick look at it
Yeah.
without the camera on?
I'm going to catch up with Tash to see her work and mark it and check it and make sure that it is, as long as it says positive. This is the thing, Tash could write anything down. I'll be like, yeah, looks good. And then it could be having a nightmare. So I'm going to have to start looking at this in a little bit more detail. Right, on my way back to clinic. Time is 3:45 p.m. I'm driving now. Just been doing home visits, so I finished my home visits for the day. They're going really well, actually, the home visit service. It is something new that we've done, but actually we're gaining loads of traction because it seems as if the NHS is under extreme pressure at the moment, and us offering the home services enables us to obviously go into their home, but the beauty of it is that we get to work with what their environment is, and being able to see the difference in people's mobility once they've undergone a series of sessions is really, really rewarding. And it makes me realise that I run all this business stuff, and the passion still exists in that helping people. And I know it sounds really cheesy, but that is the honest truth. However, there comes a time when running the business where you can't be in the business anymore, and part of the reason for me filming all this is to show you all that stuff from the business aspect of it, and how we operate and what running the business like day to day. But I do miss them parts where I get to go in and see patients, and I guess that's still where I'm most comfortable. But yeah, not falling into it not kind of going back into the depths of seeing patients is really hard to keep myself out of, because yeah, it's easy for me to do it, and certainly enjoyable. I had another patient earlier on. I was seeing him on behalf of one of the consultants we work with. He emailed me asking if I can give a second opinion with one of our physios who works with us based upon their knee injury. They had a quad tendon graft as part of their ACL rehab, and they had it quite a while ago now, and they're just struggling to try and get back to full function. So we just went through some overview, higher level thinking with, and I don't mean higher level, I mean like just scratching the surface, because he's been seeing the other physio for a while. But based upon what I was seeing, I didn't see anything that gave me huge cause for concern. And hopefully we'll see some good progress from him over the next few weeks. I would have filmed it, but it just seems a bit unfair when they're coming in for a second opinion with something they're struggling with, for me to jump on a camera and say, oh, can we film this to show everyone what we're doing? But yeah, that's the update. I'm now going for a meeting at Barnet to see how they're getting on.